This is him now. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the choice pick. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you. Chad Kroeger and JT Parr back in studio. They got live dates all over the place. Chad and JT, the all Natty tour. You can get tickets at chadandjt.com and the podcast, Going Deep with Chad and JT. Chad and JT rose to prominence a few years ago with all their viral videos. I like the ones when you're at the city council meetings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are fun.
What was the first one you did at a city council meeting?
Paul Walker statue.
I love that one.
Yeah.
But the thing about your subject matter is I agree with most all of it. There should be a Paul Walker statue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still relevant to, that was 2017, and there's still, the whole idea behind that was to bridge the gap, and I still think Paul Walker is a unifying figure.
Yeah, he is. Yes. First off, nobody doesn't like Paul Walker. Mm-hmm. The fact that he died in a fiery car crash when his entire, he had Into the Blue and he had some other movies, but known
boat
for
stuff, but he's a car guy.
Yeah, he did stuff on the water, but he's a four-wheel guy. And the fact that the whole franchise was him driving like a maniac and then dying in a fiery wreck is, so there's something poetic about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like reality and fiction converged into a awful reality, but it made it all more real.
Yeah, it was a crazy story. He's driving a Porsche. God, I think it's the supercar, the mid-engine V10. I think they called it GT. But anyway, all right. Well, we have the tape. Not Paul Walker one, but we have the Fast and Furious petitioning for in front of which city council was this, by the way?
This was San Clemente.
San Clemente.
Yeah, good people.
All right, we'll play a little of that just so people are just caught up on who these guys are. We're trying to figure it out. All right. Well, I can talk about other things. Yeah. All right.
We could do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah. From memory.
Is it?
I remember
where are we at, Dawson? You think it's doable?
The monitor is out. Now the monitor is on, and now we can do it.
All right. Here we are in front of a partisan crowd in San Clemente.
What up, Council? My name is Chad Kroeger. First, I just want to say I'm truly honored to be here, to be in a city where you can have a surf session and then go to a city council meeting within the span of an hour. I think that just shows that the American dream is still very much alive, so thank you. All right, to the serious stuff. I stand before you here today in the midst of gnarly times. I'm a freelance journalist, and after interviewing hundreds of people, I've witnessed firsthand the ever-growing divide between Americans and families torn apart over political differences. It's in times like these we need a unifying figure we can all turn to, a beacon of headlights that can guide us down the dusty road. I was 11 years old when my first love, Ashley, betrayed me by moving to Newport Beach. I felt lost, alone, bummed. And it was in that melancholy that my dad took me to see The Fast and the Furious, where for an hour and 47 minutes, I transcended my worries because I had just met my new hero, Paul Walker. Afterwards, at Carl's Jr., I thought about what Paul taught me. I think the most inspiring thing was the fact that even after Dominic Toretto beat him in that first race, Paul still managed to bed his sister. Pretty inspiring. And another thing is the fact that he still saved Vince, even though Vince was flexing on him the entire movie and questioned his love for tuna sandwiches, which I think is a true testament to his character. And I just want to go off book here. You know, it wasn't just Fast and the Furious. He inspired me in a ton of other movies as well. Skulls, Meet the Deedles, Eight Below, Into the Blue, Varsity Blues, just to name a few, and that rhymes. Paul's on-screen legacy was unfortunately cut short. But that does not mean his impact on society must be cut short as well. Detroit has the RoboCop. Philly has Rocky. We need Paul Walker. That is why
All
I'm
right.
proposing that the city.
We get it, but I agree.
Powerful.
100%. Yeah, poignant and powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually just came in from a fresh surf, so I was glowing and I was just feeling very.
Clears your mind, right?
Yeah, I was just pumped on civic duty.
Were you at Trussell's?
I hit Sano actually.
Oh, fire, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Sano.
exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. R.I.P. the rain.
I'm jealous of surfers because I live in Malibu half the time and I drive down PCH, and every time I'm driving into work, I see all these dudes on a Tuesday at 10:45 in the morning just surfing. And I think, what have they got? What do they know that I don't know? Like what kind of schedule do they have? What is going on that they're able to engage in this activity on a daily basis while all the rest of us chumps are sitting in traffic trying to get to the work, with the rat race, and you guys are just paddling out.
Dude, not only that, they're always traveling to exotic places.
Yes.
Every time I see a surfer in the water, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to Portugal next week. You should."
I know, and none of them have money or jobs.
Yeah.
Like the surf it's as vexing as the homeless guy who has the $150 a day heroin habit. Like, how is it that you maintain a $150 a day heroin habit, but you're completely jobless?
Makes no sense.
Where does this come from? Like, what are the economics of this? You're going to Portugal to surf for 3 weeks. You're jobless and broke. How is this pulled off?
I think there's three things. It's one, a surfer is a homeless person who desires no home. Two, you meet a variety of people in the lineup. Like
Yeah.
I've met anesthesiologists. And then lastly, it's a mystery. Just like riding a wave is a mystery, to be a surfer is to be a part of that. I'm quoting a Matthew McConaughey movie, Surfer Guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen that one?
It's the best movie of all time.
It's so good.
Super
dude.
quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, slip through the cracks.
I think that's Matthew. That's what Matthew McConaughey does when you leave him alone, where you go, listen, I'm not going to pay you to be in this good movie. Go do whatever movie you want. Do it with your friends. Write the script. You find the money. You direct. You just do whatever you want. That is, to me, that's the true Matthew McConaughey.
And Lincoln
sure.
commercials too.
Yes, you just go do what you want, and that's what you end up with Surfer Dude. The Academy Awards are him doing what other people want.
Yeah, I knew he was a good actor, but with Surfer Guy, I was like, oh, he's an auteur.
Yeah.
It changed my lens on him,
It did, didn't it?
for sure.
Yeah, and I like the booze commercials too.
Oh, yeah.
I like any commercial. I'm always wildly jealous of either him or Johnny Depp. When Johnny Depp does his cologne commercials, it's like no dialogue, no script, nothing to remember. We just need you dressing like half a pirate and walking through the desert, and we'll give you $20 million.
And holding a guitar.
Holding a guitar.
The wind blowing.
You don't have to play the guitar. Just hold the guitar. We're going to the desert, and you're just going to walk, and we're going to film you, and we're going to back up a Brinks truck in front of your house.
Yeah, and what's his cologne called? Savage? Just savage
Something, or
across the
Savage or something.
Savage.
I don't know.
Savage.
But also,
It's elegant,
I don't feel,
but gnar.
I do not want to smell like Johnny Depp.
No, he looks like he stinks.
I don't
In a
want to
good
smell
way.
like McConaughey or Johnny Depp. Like Johnny Depp's one of the last guys I'd want to smell like. I feel like he wears a lot of layers. You know what I mean? He's kind of a like when you see Rastafarian dudes with mega dreadlocks, you go, that guy's head smells. You know his head smells because the hair just is a sponge. It just traps your life. Like I couldn't remember in Fast and Furious
Yes.
when Letty got shot in the street. She was street racing, and then Vin Diesel showed up, and he knelt down, and there was some nitromethane spot on the ground, and he just sort of looked at it, and he sniffed it, and then he closed his eyes, and the whole thing just came to him, right?
That's exactly how it happened.
He knew exactly what happened and who to go from because somebody spilled some nitromethane on the asphalt.
Yeah.
Up in around the LA Zoo. He knew. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
wish
like a
I was that prescient, you know, where I could just close my eyes and see he saw the Chevelle skidding. He saw the car flipping over. He saw the guy with the weird silver cap on his tooth, put a cap in her ass. Like, he saw it all. And when I smell some guy with dreads, I do with Vin Diesel this. I close my eyes. I picture a bong load. I picture a musty apartment. I picture a little patchouli. I picture a couple of cat shit, like a litter box that's not been changed. I'm like a TV dinner, like a Hungry Man TV dinner from last night. Like, I'm taking it all.
I get that too. I think Pharrell has that as well. Synesthesia, right?
Yeah, yeah, but Johnny Depp, with all his leather and his layers and his scarves, he's got to smell.
Yeah, he's
sleeping on a bed with poop on it. Mm-hmm. I think somebody dropped a grumpy in there, as he said.
Great terminology for sure. I was fired up when he said that.
When he said somebody dropped a grumpy in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell like him. I'd like to drink with McConaughey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to smell like Depp.
No, I smoke weed with McConaughey. Looks good too.
Yeah, yeah.
If I had to do coke, I'd probably do it with Regis Philbin.
Yeah, I think he died.
Right, so that'd be even cooler.
Yeah, the Ghost of Regis.
I don't know if you saw. I rewatched the Regis show during 9/11. He kept his composure.
Oh, he was live when
they
it
were
went
live
down?
during that, and he's like, "Ooh, looks like a second plane."
Just doing the
Regis is
laid-back
just like
play-by-play.
this guy is a pro. Yeah.
I was thinking about 9/11 the other day, and I don't know like how everyone experienced it, but I experienced it in a very narcissistic way. No one in my family called me. I was just living alone in the Hollywood Hills, and I would do Loveline. I guess, what day was 9/11 on? Tuesday. I would do Loveline, and then I would come home at like 12:30 at night, and then I'd watch TV till like 2 in the morning, and then I would go to bed. I'd get up at like 10 in the morning. And I got up, and there was a phone message, landline phone, old school, waiting for me from my stepmom. Because none of the blood relatives bothered to call. Not that they needed to, but she just called and said, "You should turn on your TV set." And I thought, oh, they must be rerunning some show I'm on. Like, I must be on TV. That was my narcissistic thought. And then my next thought, after seeing the horrific images coming through the TV, was I got a BMW M3 with a supercharger on it, and I think today is the only day in LA where I can fucking speed my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, out of all the days, you're never getting pulled over today. You're never getting pulled over today. And I remember I had somewhere to be in like Reseda, and I was like, I'm going 130 miles an hour on this freeway. There's
smart.
no cop.
Yeah, I am.
Everyone's in a tactical alert. They're all heading to the airport. They have no idea what's going on. If you'd like to speed, this is your day.
No, that makes total sense. I don't think that's a lack of sensitivity either. You're just being opportunistic.
It's a pragmatism.
Yeah, you can't change what happened on 9/11. That's not our responsibility.
Right, but I can speed.
Yeah, if Bush
I
didn't
think
want us
Paul
to haul
Walker
ass,
would have
he would've-
appreciated
for sure.
that thought, right?
It's almost like you had the Fast and Furious vision. As it came up, you saw yourself speeding on the 405.
Yes, I knelt down.
Yeah.
Before it happened.
I also like when Vin goes to the place, he goes, "There's only one place in all of Los Angeles County that sells nitromethane." And he goes in there, and the guy's always under a car.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the engine hoisting, and he hits the chain on it, and then grabs enough grip in one hand to take
Catches
a
it.
fully dressed, big block Chevy that's just coming down with iron block and iron hand, and just snatches
He
it.
gets stronger every movie.
Yeah, he does.
By the end of it, he'll just be crushing planets with his hands.
I don't want to blow your minds, but 2 nights ago, I had a 4-hour dinner with Chris Morgan, the guy who writes all the movies, and Han from the movies. Sung. Wow. Yeah.
I think
yes, it was me and fucking the guy who writes them and Han.
I've seen Han before in the flesh. I was more starstruck by him than anyone.
Yeah.
That guy keeps his cool. That guy.
Yeah.
He's wearing white pants, I think. When I
Yeah,
saw
he
him.
was slick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a night to behold.
Yeah. What'd you guys talk about? Cars?
We only talked about cars. That's all we did was talk about cars. But the other thing that was weird is we just ordered way too much food. And then at some point, Chris and I stopped eating because we ate way more than our fill. And Han just kept eating. He just kept eating the entire time. At some point, he took the 2 slabs of cut up steak and he just sort of slid it over to his side table. And I was just watching him eat. He ate for a full hour after we were done eating. And, and the waitress would come by and do that move where they're like, you guys want us? Then he'd go, no. He'd like wave them off. And he just kept going. And I was like, just like your character in the movie.
Always
because he's always snacking in the movie, And I said that. This is life imitating art, bro. It was powerful.
You do become the character. I always reference what you said about Jeff Bridges having his, being from North Hollywood, but talking like he's from the South because he's played those dudes for so long. And I think that's a phenomenon with a lot of, Shia LaBeouf has, a real gravelly, deep voice now. And I'm like, you grew up, on Disney. You should have a softer affect.
I think did Jeff Bridges grow up in North Hollywood?
I might be confusing him with you, but you just mentioned that
he
he's
did.
not from,
Well, his dad was Lloyd Bridges, and his dad was a big movie star. So it would stand to reason he grew up in L.A.
Right.
Yeah, I think guys lean into it. I remember Michael Chiklis when he was playing the commish was just a tough guy, walking around, and it's like, you're just a short, fat, bald guy. And it's like, yeah, but I'm the commish. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Steven Seagal may be the ultimate practitioner of that. Although he has training.
He can get down
He just
with the
took
Aikido.
that character where I whoop up on 18 dudes in a row and just sort of spilled it into his daily
hand-bending,
life.
too, with him.
Yeah, he does the hand stuff.
And he would write into his he wouldn't take any hits in his movies, which always makes his fights kind of not dramatic.
Yeah.
Because he refuses to get cracked.
Yeah, you want a big kind of Vin Diesel, The Rock sort of square off like in Fast and Furious 5 or something, where lots of going through shattered glass, lots of being thrown through the landing on concrete, always being pretty good with it, never suffering a lot of damage. I found in movies, if you really get the shit beat out of you, but you pop up and you sort of crick your neck, you're back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get thrown through a few sheets of glass, land on a few coffee tables, bust the coffee table, but you have to get up and kind of do that crack with your neck, and now you're back. Yeah, you reset.
Just a quick chiropractic reset.
Yeah.
You're back in the action. Yeah, just pop it. I like when people, when they bust out their shoulder,
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, the Mel Gibson. They just move it back
Ran
in.
into the tree.
Yeah. Or my favorite ones in Mission Impossible, I think it was 2 ago, where the guy who plays Superman, what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
When he does the...
when he loads his arms.
Yeah.
He looks like he gets thicker in the moment. I don't know if you see that.
Not even
Powered up.
possible for that rig.
All right. So, I got stuff to talk to you guys about. We got... I was listening to Sirius XM, and I was listening to the Beatles channel. And as I've said before, the Beatles channel's fine. I mean, they got to play the Beatles songs, and then they have to play George Harrison stuff and John Lennon's solo stuff. But at some point, they run out of stuff, and the next thing you know, it's Sean Lennon, who's John Lennon, Yoko Ono's son, and he's waxing poetic about how great his mom is as a musician.
No, get that bitch off.
And then we have to hear this. And
How are you running out of Beatles songs?
That's my point.
That's true. They got a lot of songs.
Huge catalog.
Well, I mean, at some point they go, we must diversify.
Go Beatles adjacent.
We can't just keep doing this. So they get Sean Lennon on there, and he starts talking about how... Now listen, if you want to defend... at some point, my kids are going to be tasked with defending me. You know what I mean? And they're going to go, my dad, Adam, he wasn't as big a colossal douche as everyone says he was. He was actually pretty chill around the house, and he built us a fort one time or something. He paid for my braces. They're going to have to defend me, right? But the problem with defending Yoko, when you're doing it artistically, is we've heard her art. It's not defensible. You know what I mean? You could do it with a politician, you could go, oh, no, Joe Biden's really cool, actually. He's a sweet guy, like when you talk to him. Or Donald Trump, he paid for somebody's rehab or something. But he did it anonymously or something. He used to do that with George Steinbrenner, the guy who owned the Yankees. He was like a colossal douche, but he would do nice things, but he wouldn't put his name on it. But if you're in a band and the music sucks, then we're going to know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because she just would yell, right? That was her thing.
Well, the scariest part of her is she would yell, and that's what we know her from. But she also, because John Lennon's her old man, she gets to write songs and then work with the best studio musicians in the world. Said what I've said before to my multiple or half?
Zero.
Or zero. Okay. I thought you're going another way there. Yoko's 91.
Not to negatively.
Like literally leave town, right? Could you imagine with a listening party next door to your unit with this shit pouring through the walls?
Yeah, your neighbor knocks and John opens the door. He's like, I'll keep it down. They're like, John, you're not the problem.
Yeah, that's right.
Good, John.
So that's Clapton and Ringo and John. All right. I can't take any more.
Critically acclaimed.
Let me ask you guys about this. I wrote some more stuff down. Tell me what you think. I had some food out. I had a few people over for the Super Bowl, and I had some food out. It was out everywhere. And the patio doors were open and stuff. And at some point, just a big horsefly just went right by. And I'm like, that fucking fly is going to get into the hummus. It's going to get into the bean dip. That fly is going to be all over this food. So I got to kill the fly. Mm-hmm. There is no way to kill a fly except for a fly swatter. Nobody's done better. There's no innovation. Yeah, there's that stupid salt gun thing. That's if you can actually touch the fly with the end of the gun. You can't do it from 8 feet away.
I have one of those. They do work at about...
What?
Yes, sorry, not to shit on
How
your
many
point.
feet?
I think they definitely work over 6. I think you can do an 8-footer. I still, if I see one fly in the kitchen, I'll pull that gun out and just start having
I have
target
one,
practice.
and me and Sonny tried it, and all it did is the fly flew away.
If you... Yes, so you can wound them and get them out of the air from 8 feet away. You're not going to kill them. It's
Right.
about a 4 or 5 foot range for the kill.
It's kind of like in Call of Duty. You still got to finish them off.
Yeah.
Oh, they're down.
You got to
Yeah,
pull
you
your
downed
knife
them.
out of your boot and finish that fly off.
That's
But it's-
typically when we teabag.
Yeah, the fly. If you just want to kill flies, then a fly swatter. But
Fly
this is a
swatters
game.
are 50 cents. And they're really the only effective lethal force. The dish towels and shit like that.
Magazines.
The whoosh of air blows them away before you can make contact with them. So I realized that in life there's a bunch of shit that costs 50 cents and it's always somewhere. You can't find it. Mm-hmm. There's fly swatters like lighters, stuff like that. And I just searched my entire fucking house for a fly swatter, and I had to call my son and ask him where the fly swatter was. I was looking in every closet, and I was pissed off because A, there should be 5 of them because they're 50 cents, and B, you need a fucking spot. You need a hook, you need a nail in a closet. It has to go back to the same place every single time, and no one will go with me on that journey. They use it. And then when you talk to them, they'll go, oh, yeah, I put it in the 3rd drawer in the kitchen. I put it down under the potholder drawer. And it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't know. It's not there. I'm not looking there. You have to put it back in the same place. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and you got to keep your eye on the fly too, because if you turn around and start looking for it, you're going to lose it.
I lost the fly. I was literally making phone calls as a millionaire.
But I guess as a radical
Where's the fly
pacifist-
swatter?
I'm sorry. As a radical pacifist, why not just let the fly live?
Oh, you're that radical?
Yeah, I'm just like he deserves as much space as you do.
I used to kind of be sort of live and let live, and then I realized flies land on dog shit and then lift off and then land on hummus. And I'm eating the hummus. And that's kind of where it broke off for me.
Yeah, I guess I'm just such a radical acceptor. I'm like, is the dog shit should that even be alien to us?
Oh, right.
Like, what if you did take in some dog shit? Could there be some, I don't know, positives that
Some
come
benefit?
from it?
I guess we should look into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you wouldn't want Yoko Ono to live to 100, would you?
No, that bitch has to die.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we're gonna do some Rotten Tomatoes game.
Yeah.
Did you work that out, Chris?
Not yet. I'll do it at break.
I will. Oh, okay. Another thing. How do you guys feel? I mean, I know you're pretty laid back. Mm-hmm. I feel like when people wear flip flops to work, they're making a statement that they're not that into work. I've had many an employee show up with flip flops, and I read it mainly as don't expect any heavy lifting out of me.
Oh, see, flip flops are for us too formal.
Too formal.
Right.
Oh, you might just wear socks?
We're barefoot.
Oh, you're barefoot. Okay, but you're not here to work. You're here to entertain.
Right. I think it's the with flip flops. I wear those during construction.
Oh,
when I'm putting together an IKEA desk.
Oh, that's construction.
It's flip flops. Yeah, I mean that's sort of the Orange County way.
Because it makes you be more conscious of what you're carrying because you know there's consequences if you drop it.
You get a steel toe boot, you drop everything.
Yeah, you kind of get lazy.
Yeah, I feel that way with people driving.
You kind of think shoes are for posers, and
I feel that way with airbags. People
For
driving
sure, yeah.
along, texting, not a care in the world, knowing there's a pillow that's going to get between them and the dash.
Yeah, you should know you're driving with, and if you crash, there's a hard surface, so that keeps you on your toes.
Keeps you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, and I think with flip flops, there's those shoes where it's just forms to your foot. You want to feel the earth.
5 fingers.
I always want to be connected to the earth.
5 fingers guy, the guy who wears the 5-finger shoe.
Yeah.
They're great.
Every time I see that guy, I'm like, I could never hang out with that dude.
Yeah, that's our buddy Troy. He drinks his own pee.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
And he wears the 5 fingers?
Yeah.
He's a level 12 Pilates instructor.
Yeah.
How connected with terra firma must you be?
Always in contact. Otherwise, your electrical circuits will get way out of whack.
Oh yeah, his relationship to gravity and strong force physics is just on another level.
You guys are too young to remember, but Dawson may, and you can even find the commercial, for about a 2-year period in the 70s. I mean, I guess we've seen this phenomenon with Crocs, but in the 70s, stuff would just take over and no internet, and then everyone would just be wearing them the next day. And they came up with something called Earth shoes. There's a big 70s thing. And the thing about the Earth shoe is the front of the shoe, the ball of your foot, was higher than the rear. And the commercial showed somebody standing in sand. And they'd go, see? When you're standing in sand, your heel is lower than the front of your foot. And all the fucking Dumbos in the 70s went, he's right. Man was meant to walk this way, but in sand, but not on asphalt. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But the front of the shoe was higher than the back of the shoe. There must have been 1,000 Achilles tears or something. They were the ugliest fucking shoe in the world. They were kind of like a Birkenstock, like when you see someone in a Birkenstock and you're just like, that just seems smelly and uncomfortable. But the Earth shoe had the closed front too, and it was just big and bulbous looking. It was wildly unattractive, and I don't know, must have hit in like 75 or something like that. And then it became the rage for like 3 years. And then it left. And in the vacuum that was created the Wallaby, which was a weird leather, sort of suede-y, semi-high top, weird like professor shoe. Wasn't a sneaker, wasn't a dress shoe. But you kids are too young.
Yeah, did disco end that Earth shoe because you can't really do that 2-step?
Disco put an end to all sensible footwear. We got into platform heels and corkies and all these weird shoes that were, oh God, what did we have? We had platforms, like everything. Corkies had this big wedge of cork on, like everyone went up.
Yeah.
Everyone went up instead of down. They were trying to get down with the Earth shoe. Somebody got tired of it, and we went up with the espadrilles. Espadrilles were the chick shoe that went up. Is there an Earth shoe commercial out there, Dawson?
I searched for a commercial. We got some print advertisements we'll throw up, but no commercials yet.
I swear I saw it. Now, the good news is I never got sucked into any of this folly because the Corollas couldn't afford anything that was current. So I was cool. There's no old pictures of me in Earth shoes.
Do you have a consistent shoe that you've always worn?
I don't like guys. I don't like adults in Van slip-ons. I don't like adult males, especially of a certain age.
Yeah, me neither.
You may have made the cut. You may not be old enough, but this is an Earth shoe.
Wow, look at those buttes.
Higher in the front than in the back. Ugly as shit. And there's other versions of it, I think. And they even JCPenney started making knockoffs and stuff. Like it was that popular. Yeah, I went to one of my kids. I went to my kid's basketball game once, and there was like some 53-year-old cool dad, and the cool dad was wearing the Vans checkered stripe, the checkered flag slip-ons. I was like, "Come on, cool dad."
Yeah.
I just had kids.
Shoes.
I'm a little nervous about meeting cool dads. Like I feel like
Don't trust cool dads.
Yeah.
Don't trust bracelet dad. Don't trust I'm doing something with my facial hair dad. Don't trust Van slip-on dad. It's the same dad. Don't trust these guys. They're fucking trouble.
They're dick dealers.
Yeah, they're dick dealers. They got nothing to offer except for some fucking retarded wisdom that they don't. That
they're
doesn't
always
apply to
vibing.
them. Yeah,
But they're not really buying into the vibe. It's just like a hat.
Yeah, don't. You got kids?
I got two twins.
All right, here's my thing with the games.
Or one twins.
At some point, I came up with this. I'm pretty impressed by this. You're gonna have to start going to their games, and their games all suck because they never end, and they're all tournament style, and they're stupid. Watching 6-year-olds play basketball fucking blows. I don't even want to see women play basketball, and they're professionals. Why do I want to say a fucking 6-year-old? All the shit, right?
I'm buying it. Yeah,
you're gonna and you'll be a pariah if you don't go to all of it, and a lot of it's far away. So here's what you need to do: get surgical scrubs. Put on surgical scrubs. Walk in as late as you fucking want, and then check your watch a couple times and announce you got to get back to the house, and then you just leave. Go blow a bowl in the parking lot, have your mistress blow you, and then go back home. But if you got surgical scrubs, no one wants to know where you were. No questions about you missed the first 3 games, surgeon. Like none of it, and you get to leave. Whenever you
Smash
want.
cut to one of the kids has a cardiac event on the court.
That's right. And you just go, I'm a plastic surgeon. I really don't. Yeah. If a kid has a cardiac event, it will bite you in the ass. But, you can say your insurance prevents you from blah, blah, blah or something.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to use these hands.
All you have to do is remember you need D5W with lactate ringer stat. You just start yelling that into your phone. Your phone's not going to be on. You yell D5W lactate ringer stat, and then you slam your phone down.
And then I think you instruct one of the parents, cool dad. You're like, hey, hold the wrist and push down every
Hold
10
the wrist,
seconds.
push down. I'm going to go scrub in, and you go to the bathroom.
And then when it goes
you never
wrong,
come back.
When
you
it
never
goes
come
wrong,
back.
I'm like, bro, you fucked up. You did the backwards.
That's
I told you to hold higher than that.
Cool dad. Yeah, with
not
the Vans.
so cool anymore.
Yeah.
Flawless plan.
Yeah, you just keep. Now, you don't have to wear the scrubs all the time. You just keep them in your car. You're wearing board shorts and a T-shirt, but you just pull the scrubs on. You pop on scrubs in 2 minutes. You walk in, instant respect, no questions about your tardiness, and no questions about leaving early.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You rock the surgical bandana too.
Now that's gilding the lily.
No, too much.
Yeah, I thought about the stethoscope maybe over the shoulder.
Yeah, scalpel.
Not around the ears. that's a tell. You know what I mean?
You're overdoing it.
Yeah, you're overdoing it. But and I feel that way with the hat and the mask too.
Yeah.
You know, you could take the stethoscope and throw it over the shoulder.
What about some jargon like Leo? Get in the car, stat.
Yeah, stat's good. Stat,
That's basic.
medical terms like that. Say things, just whatever you heard on St. Elsewhere or whatever it is. You just kind of repeat it over and over again. But it's good. Yeah.
Shouldn't just stop at the kids' sports games. I mean, you can do that in multiple places.
It's your ticket to showing up late and leaving early. Parties, gatherings, funerals, wakes, brisses, bar mitzvahs, shit you don't want to fucking kill an entire Sunday for. Put the
Don't
scrubs
they
on.
know you're a comic and host?
Well, yeah, for me, obviously, my profile is too high. I'm saying,
for us who live in a little bit more obscurity. Yeah.
you guys could slide under the radar a
Yeah,
little.
sure.
We're not sure exactly what you do
There's
all
gonna be
day.
some heavy hitting celebs too if they're growing up around here.
Listen, Will Ferrell can't show up in scrubs.
No.
We'll know.
They want to ask what movie's in then.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp, the jig's up with all these guys. But if a second strata of celebrity where you guys are kind of,
That's where we're living. Marinating.
putting down stakes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you could both get away with the scrubs.
I could just tell them, it's a
You
career
order
pivot.
it online. It's like $13. You just keep it in your trunk. If you want to get funky, you get a weird color like purple or something, so they think you work at a cool hospital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it could be a great career move too, because a lot of people are like, "What do you guys do all day?" And you're like, "Surgery."
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah. If we were doing city council meetings while we're doctors.
Yeah, like I just scrubbed out, but I just thought I'd talk about the rain here and how it needs to stop,
Yeah.
and then just clock back in.
Yeah. You're going to have to pick some college, that you went to. Just make it like Emory or something.
Yeah, I was going to pick a
know what I
liberal
mean?
arts. I'm going to Oberlin.
Yeah, Oberlin's good. And then you just say whatever. And then if anyone asks you where you work, you just go down a county. And then you walk away, like shaking your head. You know what I mean? Because we never have the budget down a county.
No, I've
they
seen a lot
don't
of
know
good
what
people.
county.
Brilliant.
They're not going to be able to figure it out. There's a lot of different counties.
Do you have your kids doing any combat sports? Because I know you box.
I hit them, but they don't fight back. So I got them doing like half. I got sort of half a
Do you
combat.
want them to hit back though? Like you want it to be a good scrap? And you're like, come on, bring it back to me.
No, I don't do any. They do zero combat sports.
All right.
My son, I used to hold the focus pads for a little bit, and then he could hit them a little bit. But you quickly realize all the stuff, like whether it's their sexuality or anything, you can't control anything. They're just on some trajectory. Your job is to not fuck them up. But there's really nothing. There's not much you can do other than sort of put a roof on their head, feed them, pretend to be a surgeon, and be a good dad. There's not much past that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I strong disagree. My son's going to be one of the top grapplers in history.
He's going down to Abu Dhabi.
I'm
and
moving him to Dagestan. And he's gonna
Wow. He's going to wrestle a bear.
And I had a very easy life, but he's going the other way. I'm
He's
correcting
fighting a
that.
bear.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting all sorts of animal. And he's going to be pinning dudes in no time.
All right. We're going to do how we feeling about Rotten Tomatoes game.
Good.
All right. Let's
do it.
We'll do it. We'll do that right after this. Hey, let me tell you about Simply Safe. Well, when you love someone, you protect them. Simply Safe. That's the best way to protect a loved one. 24/7 professional monitoring, under $1 a day. These guys are so innovative. I've been using their product for over a decade now. I like their key fob. You can just disarm the alarm when you come home using the key fob, or if someone's coming over. It's so convenient. There's so much technology. It's the best home security system of 2023. According to U.S. News and World Report, everything is sleek, everything is ergonomic, everything is fast and easy to set up. HD cameras for indoor and outdoors, advanced motion and entry sensors, hazard sensors to detect fires, floods, and more. 60-day risk-free trial. If you don't love it, you can return the entire system for a full refund. Simply Safe even covers return shipping. That's how confident they are in their product. And right now, you can save 20% with a new Simply Safe system. Sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Save that 20%. Just visit simplysafe.com/Adam. simplysafe.com/Adam. Let me tell you about mood. Yeah, I like the THC high, but I like to be a little creative and a little more productive versus vegging out and watching TV. That's where Mood comes in. Known for federally legal THC, they're adding their most potent product yet to the lineup, hemp-based THCA flower, the future of legal THC. For a limited time, Mood is giving my listeners a free THCA pre-roll and 20% off your first order. Just visit hellomood.com. Use the code ADAM. Different strains for specific moods, from euphoric to energized to creative to chill. And, take the chill at the end of the day, which I do, which means it's time to chill and get some Z's. Great for both beginners and veteran users. However you take THC, Mood has you covered. Gummies, classic flower, convenient pre-rolls, and more. Save that 20% by going to hellomood.com and use the code ADAM. Am I right, Dawson?
Try Mood's new THCA flower today. For a limited time, get 20% off your first order and a free THCA pre-roll. Just go to hellomood.com and use promo code ADAM. That's hello, MOOD.com, code ADAM for 20% off your order and a free THCA pre-roll.
Identify yourself.
What up, Council? My name is Chad Kroeger. Over the past week, I've been in a state of deep despair upon hearing the news that LA is trying to outlaw house parties in the Hollywood Hills. I am here to stop this future atrocity. House parties were the bedrock of my development as a young man in San Clemente. My first introduction to manhood came when the captain of my water polo team, Boomer Kingsley, asked me to shotgun a tall can of Bud Light in front of the whole squad at his end of the season bash. It was epic. Raging at house parties is the truest way.
Thank you. Next speaker, please come and identify yourself.
What up, Council? My name is JT Parr. I am also here to defend parties in the Hollywood Hills. I grew up like most kids, worried I couldn't bench 2 plates, that I wouldn't find love. Then I discovered partying, and suddenly all those worries went to the wayside. I didn't need love. I had keg stands.
Chad Kroeger and JT Parr on the Adam Carolla Show.
They always make me laugh, these two. All right, throw the headphones on so we can hear clearly. So you'll guess the critics' score of any given movie that
They're
Chris
obviously
has come up with.
film aficionados of Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
references,
Indeed.
I'm a legit cinephile.
What's your favorite Fast and Furious?
Dude, I got to go number 1.
No.
Although, I'm a big fan of number 2 because I love Florida. They're in Miami. I love Florida.
Oh,
No
yeah.
Vin in that one.
I go deeper in. I'm like 7.
You're
6 or 7.
Whoa.
I think 7. Yeah. Wait.
The best one is Fast 5.
Five's the
Yeah,
That's
5.
where they have
five's
the
where it all
safe.
came together.
The safe. The Fast 5 is the best. Yeah, that's the best story. Yeah. All right. So, what do you got, Max Pata?
Listen to that noise. It's a high falsetto voice. That can only mean one thing, and you can feel it. Got some names of flicks, and the gang makes their picks, guessing if it's rotten or fresh. If they guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5. It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it.
All right, so we're hella stoked to have Chad and JT take a break from snagging Southside's clam draggers and grace us Quimby's with their good vibes. So while we wait for the next swell, let's focus today's round on movies that shred.
Yeah.
A SoCal drought in the 70s has people draining their swimming pools, leaving a few thirsty Venice bros stoked to drop in and frontside carve buttery concrete bombs any time of day. Emil Hirsch and Heath Ledger run the sidewalk shred sleds in this one. From 2005, it's Lords of Dogtown.
So, yeah, Dogtown was a real thing, like in the 70s. This is kind of a fun film. I watched it. It was pretty good. And I think probably favorably reviewed.
Do you remember this era? Like, because you were in LA during that time.
So I grew up in LA, and I grew up in the Valley. And you had to make a choice. It was Earth Shoes or Wallabies, or were you a biker or a surfer? Like, when I was like in the 7th grade, they're like, you a surfer or biker? And I'm like, well, I can't get to the beach because I don't have transportation. My parents are too fucking lazy to drive me there. But I can't afford a motorcycle. I don't have either one, you know? But they're like, there's bikers and surfers. And then there was Dogtown. Like, you'd see guys with Dogtown, like, written on their shirt. And when you went to the beach, when you went to, like, Zuma or Malibu or something once a year, you'd see graffitied Val's Go Home. Like, they didn't want Valley people coming over the hill and surfing their swell. So it was really weird. Like, we've done it all now, except we just do it with race. But we used to just do it with bikers and surfers and Vals and Dogtown and shit. It was weird. I don't know why. You had to you had to declare a major. So I kind of remember it, but I wasn't into. I like BMX bikes, I guess. So maybe I was a biker. All right, you're going to write down your score. You can't go off of what the other person said. They have to write it down. I think
the documentary is really incredible.
Yeah, the doc is good.
Yeah, Sean Penn's the narrator. It rips.
What is that one called? Like
Dogtown and the Z-Boys.
And Z-Boys, yeah. All right. I put down 73.
60.
75.
Lords of Dogtown is rotten.
Whoa.
At 55%.
Oh, dude, I remember this. I remember it getting a bad score.
And the people had it at 81. I don't know why the critics not into this one.
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, reviews used to be worse back in the day. Now all the scores have gone up because critics are scared of getting attacked by people online.
All the fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it used to be
Interesting.
tougher 20 years ago.
Next up, an FBI Grom goes full poser to infiltrate the lineup of surf surf brosives that may or may not be snaking banks of the precious coin. Featuring dudes Patrick Swayze, Rip in Paradise, Keanu Reeves, and Gary Busey from 1991. Point Break.
I mean, look at that poster, dude. Keanu has never been hotter.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is hot. Yeah.
The
Gotta love
hair
this
on
movie.
both these dudes.
Young.
Do you
dumb,
remember
full
what
of color.
Gary Busey's dog was named?
Oh,
No.
Utah, give me 2. Utah, give me 2.
Scooby.
Oh.
And I like any cop movie where the guy shows up for his first day to the bureau and the guy who greets him just starts fucking getting into him. Oh, we got a real Blue Flame special here. Yeah. All dumb from the sticks. And they just start fucking, it's like it's the first day of the job. Can you just fucking show the guy's cubicle? Do you have to fucking light in? Imagine, by the way, if you want to talk about unacceptable, you got to find Byron. You got to find it was John C. McGinley. John C. The first day Keanu shows up at the FBI bureau, and all he does is just fucking verbally undress him and scream at him.
Yeah, he's really cooking at him, and then Keanu's like, look, dude, I take the skin off chicken. And then he's like, oh, you think you're a real hotshot then?
Yeah.
But he's only trying to make him think he's cool.
I'm just saying, I don't feel like in today's inclusive society, I feel like that guy would have got written up.
Yeah, because you could tell McGinley wanted to toss a gay pejorative, and I was like, you better holster it, pal.
He did. Young, dumb, and full of cum. And also, I don't yell at guys that are full of cum because they could blow any minute.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
Now they're dangerous.
Yeah, like I don't want to punch a guy who's full of cum.
Before I fight someone, I'm like, go jack off, and if you still want to get down, I'm here.
Yeah, I think that's sensible. Like I was like, yeah, just squeeze one off. I'll bet it changes things. Even if it doesn't, you're not going to be full of cum, so I don't have to worry about
be
sort
more
of collateral
tired.
damage. Yeah, it'll take the edge off.
For sure.
Nobody fights in their refractory period.
No.
Look, man, it looks like you're full of cum. So why don't you take care of that before you come into the bureau?
Me and Chad actually, when dudes used to throw down where we grew up, we used to just give the dudes handies real quick to tire everybody out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Shrewd.
Yeah, you remember when like Mongo was gonna beef up against Bryce, and we just fucking
torqued him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of big load.
Save the
Smart.
party.
Yeah,
Big
well,
load.
it was young, right?
Dumb. True to his name, Mongo. Dude is a mongoloid load.
Right. Yeah. But
Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
but it saved your hide, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we weren't even involved in the fight. We just didn't want to see anybody get hurt.
Oh, so it was just kind of a
Just good citizen stuff.
Oh, wow, that's really big of you guys.
Protecting
Just
the
to
vibe.
step in and give the guy a quick jack.
Yeah, we were a lot closer to Mongo after that too.
Oh, you would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew we got him.
Pheromones and all.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
He wanted to hang with us a bit too much.
Well, as I whispered in his ear, I said, "Who's the biggest mango in the grove?" And then he popped.
I didn't know. I thought I was making this up. I didn't know this was actually a practice of you guys.
Yeah, it's real deal. Holyfield, dude.
Yeah.
Saved a lot of lives.
Yeah, you gotta measure cum value.
All right.
Come
we
on.
got to guess, but we'll also find that clip. Let's see. No, this was directed by a woman.
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
No, was it Captain? No,
Yeah.
it's Hardwick, right?
No,
I thought it was
Biggs. It's the
Bigelow.
Biggs.
Catherine
Oh, it
Bigelow.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that gives some points to a woman stepping outside of her safe zone and doing a rough and tumble action film.
She's great with the masculine side. I mean, she did Zero Dark 30 and Hurt
Yeah.
Locker. She brings it.
We have the intro. Well, that's not the intro to the. I guess it's the intro to the movie. It's the intro to the FBI. Not.
And she was
necessarily.
married to Jimmy Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty harsh for day one.
Did you notice it looked like they were just walking in circles?
Yeah, I think they may have arranged cubicles that way. All right, let's see.
Alphas.
Yeah. I mean, critics hate these kinds of movies, but this one was so good and a female director, 77%.
I got 45.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
69.
Wow.
Oh, dude, nice.
Point Break is fresh at 70.
Wow.
The people have it at 79.
I check these all the time.
What were your first round scores, by the way? I forgot I was keeping score of these.
60 for Lords of Dogtown.
I had 73.
I had 75.
All right, cool.
All right, next up is the righteous tale of a honeycomb from Texas trying to ease the bummer over small-town life by getting ragdolled around a roller derby league, bro. Elliot Page riding the quads in this one.
Oh, Elliot.
Directed by Drew Barrymore.
Oh.
From 2009, Whip It.
Yeah. There was, I forgot. Elliot. Wait. What was her? Ellen Page. It's got to slow your career down a little bit when you transition, right?
I guess it depends what you're trying to do, but definitely changed her casting.
Yeah, changes the casting. There was a movie from the 70s starring Raquel Welch that was about roller derby called the Kansas City Bombers. And it was like probably 1975, 76. And it fell under the heading of one more shit movie that we have to see because it's at the theater we can walk to and we're fucking poor and the theater has air conditioning. And so whatever shit movie would just come down the pike, we just like walk over and see it. Collecting bottles and then returning the bottles to the liquor store and getting 10 cents for the big ones and a nickel for the small ones. And then we'd walk to go see the Kansas City Bombers, which you didn't know what movies were about when you were a kid because you couldn't go online and see reviews or trailers. There was nothing. It was called the Kansas City Bombers, and it starred Raquel Welch, and I thought it was a World War II movie. And it was a movie about roller derby from the 70s. All right. This movie, they like the Drew Barrymore and the female sort of empowerment sort of stuff, but it
What are
couldn't
the
have been
rules
good.
of roller derby? I don't even know how the game operates.
The same rules they have in pro wrestling. There are no real rules, but somebody wins, but they whip people around, and the whole idea is to like pass people. It's sort of like NASCAR for lesbians. Like you try to be in the lead, you know what I mean? But at some point they do some whip and they whip the person and then the person goes past you. But if they're going past you and you throw an elbow, you'll take them out, and now you're still in the lead. And at some point, they'll push you, and you do the over the rail move where you bend over and your feet go flying over. It's over the rail. And then there's like some coach that's yelling something the whole time, but no one can physically score it. And all the women are on the infield of the roller derby. There used to be one at the Olympic Auditorium, and it was like a deal. It was like a 70s thing. I never went, of course, because it would have involved, tickets and driving and shit. But they have it on TV, and you just watched it. Now, you would watch football over roller derby, but if there was just roller derby, then you just watched roller derby.
Mm-hmm. Roller derby in March.
Yeah. And then also, James Caan starred in Rollerball.
Rollerball, yeah.
That was like futuristic roller. I'll bet
Chris Klein did a version.
That was one of the worst movies. I think that could be the worst movie ever made. The
Chris Klein.
It's up there with Wing Commander.
I'll bet you the movie Rollerball was supposed to take place in like the year 2000. I'll bet the year was like, it's 1997. Our alien overlords are controlling the country now. Like it was.
Oh, I got it.
What year?
It's 2018.
Oh,
2018.
Yeah, so it's a 1975 movie in the year 2018.
Yes.
Wow.
Did they mention COVID or anything?
Yeah. And by the way, they're like, it's 1975, and they're like, in the year 2018, we'll have almost the exact same sport we have now on KTLA on Sunday with Skinny Minnie Miller. Like, it's the exact same sport, except for you got a spike on your elbow or something. Ugh.
I love James Caan on roller skates, too.
Yeah. Yeah, super hairy back.
Yeah, just a hairy gorilla.
Hairy shoulders and
arms,
back.
weird bulk.
Yeah.
And then let's put him on the weirdest transportation possible.
All right. You guys want to lock it in?
Yep.
I'm going to say I give it a couple points for being like, tough chick movie, but still low, 37.
Yeah, I'm pretty harsh on this one, too. I think 30. I've never heard of the movie.
I totally agree. I think it deserves a 30.
You don't know the actor Alan Page?
Alan Page, a defensive tackle for the Vikings?
Well, before she transitioned.
That guy was a beast.
Yeah.
He's in this movie. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I think it gets a ton of points for having a female director and being about empowerment. I'm going 62%.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Whip It is certified fresh.
Wow.
At 85%.
What?
It's insane. It's not a very good movie.
Wow. You've seen it?
And I've seen it, and I like everybody in it, and I like Drew Barrymore, but it's not an 85%. There's no way.
Wow.
Do you think we're past... What year was Blade Runner supposed to be in?
Everything's in the past.
2025?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, let's see if we got to Blade
It's
Runner
20s.
yet.
It's in like the early 20s.
2019.
Yeah,
One year-
nothing's
One year
come
after
true.
Rollerball.
All we fucking have is homeless people flopped out everywhere and Mexicans making hot dogs on the corner in a shopping cart.
Well, I think the technology
we're going the other way. If you go up the street, you're going to see a Mexican guy with a machete and a cassava melon, and he's just fucking whacking it up on the street and selling it for $4. Like
Some tahini.
Yeah, we're not there. We didn't. Nothing came true. Only the bad shit
Those
came
things
true.
actually, yeah, those things I think did come true though.
The technology is
part
real.
hot dogs
It's
on the
just
streets.
poverty
They
is
were in
still
the
around.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, none of the good shit happened. Only the bad shit.
All right, next up. A mighty fine Wahine prepares for her North Shore surf comp when an NFL QB tries
this is
to
a great
hang
movie.
11
Great movie.
in her green room. But she's not bailing her shred stick just yet. Featuring Betty's Kate Bosworth and Michelle Rodriguez from 2002, Blue Crush.
Did you write the intros for these movies?
I did.
Chris
You did?
Rosenbaum.
Wow.
Fantastic, dude.
Strong.
Straight up
But
fantastic.
I know it's in the delivery though.
It is. It
You
really
know.
Solid movie.
Guys.
This is a real good one.
What's better though, this one or Into the Blue?
I go this one.
I agree.
Into the Blues got better boats, but this movie has better heart.
Yeah.
And I'm being sincere when I say that.
Yeah.
That's me just telling you my straight up heart.
It's Kate Bosworth at the height of her powers
yeah.
too. Looking
Love
good.
Kate Bosworth.
When they're
Yeah.
driving on the highway to Bob Marley, iconic
Could you
scene.
be loved?
Yeah.
And they're just grooving, dude.
And then the surf guys who sleep on the beach, and they wake up, they're checking their
on his cell phone.
Oh, it's going off, and then they just go back to sleep.
I like the fact that Kate Bosworth works as a maid. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if you opened your door and she was just fucking standing there like, can I clean your toilet? And you're like, well, I'd shit it up pretty good, sweetie, but yeah.
We were just at the Garden Inn in Tampa. It was a different vibe.
I have never
Bosworth
seen
wasn't
a
close.
cleaning woman that looked anything close to 19-year-old Kate Bosworth, right?
My friend's older sister was supposed to be the younger sister in this because she won a
really?
surf comp.
Wow.
But I feel like everyone's got a friend who says
What
that.
year is this movie from?
2002.
Because the quarterback she fell in love with was a sort of Tom Brady
He looks
prototype.
just like Braids.
But Brady had only been in the league for a year. Well, he'd won a Super Bowl by then.
Well, do you think because now everyone's saying the NFL is scripted, and it's true. Jamie Foxx was in Any Given Sunday before there was Mike Vick too. So maybe they really are in cahoots, and Hollywood's just setting us up for these prototypes.
He was very prototypical of Tom Brady. All right, look, this movie's fun. You should watch this movie. I like the underwater training sequence. Mm-hmm. That was good.
To POD.
Imagine she's your she is your maid, and she can hold her breath for 15 minutes.
Smoke.
That's fucking hot. All right. And then who were the other chicks? That was Michelle Rodriguez?
Michelle Rodriguez, yeah.
I don't know who the other one is.
She was never in anything else.
That one?
The other one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
She's just cold.
Get this, Michelle Rodriguez plays a tough chick in this movie.
What?
Yeah.
Against time. All right. Let's see. The chicks doing their thing, competing with the dudes, standing up to the man. They had to like, all right, you guys locked in?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
74.
I'm going, with the way this movie makes me feel, 69.
Yeah.
For your listeners, 69 is dual oral sex.
Oh, yeah.
If Kate Bosworth was my maid, I would clean the room before she showed up.
Oh, yeah.
I would like freshen my breath. I would turn it down. I would turn myself down.
She knocks you doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you caught me working out again.
Yeah. Oh.
You don't think it's peak alpha to leave your dump in the toilet?
It's risky. It's kind of up there with, in the 80s movies when there'd be the hot chick and then the one guy wouldn't be interested in her and that got her attention.
Yeah.
Because he was the one dude who wasn't fawning all over her. That's what the deuce in the bowl is.
She's like,
bold move. It's probably not going to work, but if it does, it's going to work well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 0 for 10 on my lifetime on it, but
I'm leaving the deuce.
Yeah, but I'm sticking to my philosophy. I'm not giving up quick.
I mean, dude, I could one up you if you upper deck Kate Bosworth.
Oh,
Are you an upper decker? I mean, that's memorable.
Yeah, I just feel like I would clean the room.
Welcome to the prank tank. I open it up.
Like she'd knock on the door going, cleaning, and I'd go, I'm not done cleaning. Come back in 20 when I'm clean.
And wearing some Sauvage.
I'm wearing Sauvage with a single rose.
Can you imagine coming in the room, JT, I left a fat dump in there.
Apologies for my big shit. I just eat a lot.
I feel like I'd have a whole rap, like, I've got to get down to the orphanage. So how long is this going to take?
The kids need me.
Yeah, I'm going to go down to the orphanage and I have to teach them Taekwondo. And then I'm going to go by the soup kitchen and volunteer. So I will be back in a couple hours. Oh, and I got to eat pussy for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I'll be back. So you think you'll be done by then, Kate?
Yes, I was doing my jaw exercises.
Yeah,
so I'm ready.
sorry, dude. There is a jaw kegel. It's a joggle that guys can do.
Yeah. She comes in. You're just fully nude on the crapper.
Yeah.
Why don't you start in the bed area?
Well, I might go wine. You'd have to go Weinstein, right? You'd have to be in the robe, undone, boner.
Yeah, the confidence is insane.
Yeah. I'd be scared that she'd be judging me on room service. Like, I wouldn't want to leave like half a burger and some curly fries out or something. It'd be all dinner salad and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
With
For sure.
Caesar. Yeah.
No croutons.
No croutons. All right. What? What'd I say? What'd we get? 69, 74, and what?
I'm waiting on JT.
78%.
78.
I'm going to guess it's 80, though. 78, though.
Blue Crush is fresh at 61.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just fresh. They're too tough.
Brutal.
This movie's fun and watchable.
They kind of boned it, yeah.
And spankable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe I'd do like some recon and realize that Kate Bosworth, my maid, was also into surfing. And so I would when she showed up, I'd be in board shorts, like waxing my stick. You know what I mean? We're talking to her about like where the local spots are. And then she'd start talking about surfing. Then I'd start talking her back. And then that would lead into like, where's the swell? And like kind of what time do you punch out here? Because if you're going surfing, I could use a guide, you know, like... I think that's where I might go with it. I might go that way with it.
We did that. We actually acted in an episode of Hawaii Five-0, and we connected with some of the ladies who worked at the hotel. And the first thing we told them was we're going to beat up Howleys.
Yeah. We're part of the wolf pack.
Yeah, we're like, we're just going to go whale on some non-lokes who don't understand respect.
The top dog on the North Shore, Kala Alexander, he's our guy. He's the enforcer out there.
It is inappropriate, like if you spotted her in her maid's outfit, like in the lobby, to ask her what floors she worked. You know what I mean? And then you could go back and switch your room, you know? And you'd have a rap. Like I usually stay in the presidential suite, but I was trying to be pretty low key.
Yeah, I'm trying to be subtle because photographers are trying to grab.
I don't want the attention because all the expensive jewelry I travel with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes in, you're like, I'm about to surf pipe if you want to cruise.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And then we get there, you break
down.
your board in half, and you're like, bummer.
Yeah. I'm just going to beat off on the beach and watch you surf.
Yeah. Classic pivot.
Yeah. All right. Where are we going? Into the championship round?
Last movie.
I think if Kate Bosworth was your maid, you'd be like Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder, where he thought the doctor was a call girl because they got him the cop call girl when they pulled him over after he won Daytona. So if Kate Bosworth showed up, you'd think your buddy hired her and sent her over.
I've made that mistake so many times.
You just pull your dick out and yell, we're on the clock, let's get this.
This smoke is clearly not doing the job she's saying she's doing.
Right.
Yeah, I just rented a car. I was like, yeah, right. To the I was like, yeah, right, dude.
I think some people may feel that way about you guys when you show up to do a job, you know?
We're the call guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are big fans of Magic Mike.
That's my thing. If someone misperceives me as a stripper, I just become a stripper because I don't want to let people down.
Yeah. It's like when people call me Alan. I just go, yeah. Oh, they just answer to it. So I don't want to let them down. All right. What? Is this the last one?
Yeah, in our final movie, U.S. government gray suits recruit extreme athlete Xander Cage.
That's
Bro who's known for stomping his landings. He infiltrates a sketchy Russian crime ring that's trying to wipe out the whole world and ruin our sesh. Starring Vin Diesel from 2002, Triple X.
What is their Dogma 99? Is that the name of their group?
This is the first one, right?
Yeah. And the second one's like Ice Cube, I think.
Right.
I remember my friend Josh Panko, he saw the poster and he went, that's the sickest poster I've ever seen. I was like, it's just a dude's tricep.
Anarchy 99 is the band of the group. I have a handful of movies where I think they came up with the title before the premise. I think somebody came up with Triple X and just went, we got to call a movie Triple X. And then went, what's it about? And he just went, I don't know, but this one's called Triple X. And then we'll just write the movie.
Well, he has the iconic line in here where he has to hook up with the Russian chick. And he goes, the things I do for my country.
Oh, yeah.
And then he whips off his fur coat.
Yeah. That was sick.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, all right.
Is this one as good as the one where he's the blind spaceman?
Oh, Pitch Black? Or Chronicles of Riddick?
Chronicles of Riddick, or I don't know.
No, Riddick is sicker than Triple X for sure.
I don't get like blind swordsmen. I just feel like at some point the guy pulls an axe out and he swings it and the guy goes kapop and it's like, you're blind?
Well, their other senses are heightened.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's too much, I think. All right.
Am I peeking?
All right. This is the first Triple X. Okay. All right. Listen, I got some making up to do.
Said he does a board slide down like a 50 stair with a cookie sheet.
Bro,
yeah.
And right before that, he blinds the sniper by bouncing, using it like a gaffer board or whatever.
That's right.
He's like, bang.
He's good.
All right. Yeah, he's an ex-gamer who's turned into a spook, right? All right. They had to hate this, but how much?
A lot of people are about the talk, but not the action. Welcome to Anarchy 99. Anarchy 99. The guy was like, he had so many marbles in his mouth, the bad guy.
I'm going low. I'm going 19%.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think this is Vin Diesel in his heyday. 55.
I think you guys are really underappreciating a complete cinematic masterpiece on level with, Chinatown. I'm going 100%.
Wow. Man.
He's playing with his heart.
That's bold.
Do you remember the part where they're recruiting and they have all the recruits in there in the back of the plane and they attach parachutes to them? And they're like, you're not just walking off the plane. You're going to get ripped out of the plane.
Right.
And then everyone's scared, but Xander's like, I'll live for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they put a knife to him and he goes, what's funny about that? It smells like real blood. What does real blood smell like? What does fake blood smell like?
All right. Triple X is rotten.
Oh.
At 48%.
Oh, wow. Jeez, Chad.
Wow.
I think you may have stolen this one.
All right. Well, JT, you originally had a 40 in there?
You'd still beat me. You're 7.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we had a major swing at the end of that. A 52-point swing against JT.
Oh, wait, you guys don't go by how many rounds you win? You go by how close you are percentage-wise?
Golf score.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't have fucking done the thing. I wouldn't have put 100. I didn't know you did it.
Well, we have a tie.
What?
Both Adam Carolla and Chad Kroger are coming in at 115 points.
Wow, that is sad.
Tie, too.
We may be getting to a tiebreaker really quick. Let's check JT's score with that
100%.
52-point swing.
I thought we were doing match play.
JT is fit to be tied.
Congratulations, JT. You won.
Oh!
With a score of 98.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That good.
All right.
Tomatoes gang. You know how we do it.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some news with Chad and JT right after this. Well, good news. It's O Rewards bonus points month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Shop in the store, do it online to receive points and get rewards sent straight to your phone or inbox. Get 2, 3, 4, even 5 times bonus points on select purchases. Receive bonus points on select items throughout the store like wiper blades, antifreeze, coolant, parts cleaner, motor oil, and more. Those bonus points can help get you to your next rewards even faster. You'll receive a $5 reward for every 150 O Reward points to use on your next in-store or online purchase. Members can check points and rewards online anytime. If you're already an O Rewards member and not receiving your rewards, just add an email address or mobile phone number. Get a $10 reward for updating your existing account. If you're not an O Rewards member yet, signing up is easy, quick, and simple. Just do it online at O'ReillyAuto.com or in-store at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, St. Petersburg, Florida. A 23-year-old man was arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication at a seafood restaurant called Rick's Reef. The man reportedly sexually molested a mannequin of a manatee and threw food at staff and patrons. The food in question was gator nuggets. Definitely not a Jew.
All right, Chad and JT are hanging with us, and we'll get into some news right now.
Yeah. So Danny Masterson has now been moved to a medium security prison in San Luis Obispo. They said, according to sources, a law enforcement source, the move comes after concerns for the inmates' well-being. So remember, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison after being found guilty in May on 2 counts of forcible rape. So he's at the California Men's Colony, which is comprised of 2 separate complexes referred to the East Facility and the West Facility. The East Facility offers a myriad of educational and self-help programs to the inmate population, while the West houses medium and minimum security for qualifying inmates, including firefighters working with CAL FIRE captains to fight wildfires and respond to natural disasters around California.
Yeah, that's what I'd want to be on. They made, let's see, Howie Long made a movie where he's a firefighter, like,
Firestorm, was that
yeah,
that
like
one?
dropped, they always, I don't know why. Somebody, starting with Broken Arrow, they were like, Howie Long's going to be an action hero.
Yeah.
I would love just a list of, this guy's going to be the next Schwarzenegger that just never really worked. I think Howie Long is on that list.
The finishing move in Firestorm, him and the dude are fighting. I think it's William Forsythe. They're fighting in the water, and it's getting heated up.
Right.
And they're under a canoe, and Howie Long just picks him up and sticks his head through the canoe, and his head melts.
All right, so good. I didn't even know what his story was. He raped 2 people or something, but then it was a long time ago, and Jesus Christ, everyone's fucked.
That 70s show.
That 70s show, which I never watched. But that 70s show was an example of a show where it was supposed to be called like Teenage Wasteland or something.
Right, yeah.
And they couldn't get the thing cleared from The Who or something. And they just called it That 70s Show. Like when you create shows, which I've done before, you give them a name sometimes and you go, well, we'll think of the name later. This is just the name we're going to use for now so we know what we're talking about. And they just called it That 70s Show so many times that they just stuck with it.
That's how the Alan Parsons Project became the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh, really?
Because the suits throughout Abbey Road Studios to say, how's that Alan Parsons Project coming?
Right.
And then the name just stuck.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's like if you get a dog and the dog goes by a name, but you go, we'll name it at some point. But once it goes by the name for a while, it just sticks. Like Gary Busey's dog, Scooby, Sorry.
Right. So you would pick the facility where you're a firefighter?
I'd go with the firefighting facility. Yeah.
The other one's just educational. That one seems like it has one.
I'm not interested in education.
Can I say something about Danny Masterson? I think he looks like the perfect prison boyfriend. I bet you there's a very competitive marketplace for his booty right now.
Yeah.
Because he's not too hot where it feels alienating. He kind of feels like still relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Did you see the photo of SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, that just came out
No.
in prison? It's him and like a few blood gang members.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's just standing there. He looks kind of tough. He looks kind of tough. You're like, damn.
Probably they were like, I'm going to go hang out with the cryptos.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, Crips. Yeah, I understand this world. I'll speak to these gentlemen. They speak my language. And he's like, no, you're going to get stabbed. Well, how should I get stabbed? They named their gang after me.
Cryptos and the Bloods.
The Cryptos and the Bloods. He should start a gang called the Cryptos.
Yeah. Apparently some of the inmates were like, he's weird as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he could probably, it's probably a thing, like Shawshank, where he's going to start teaching them about financial responsibility or something, or how to crunch numbers or what fungible means.
Totally.
I made it from 0 to 57 without ever hearing the word fungible. Mm-hmm. Then I've heard it 2,000 times in the last 28 months.
I thought fungible was like fun in gel form.
Yeah, like liquid soap. All right.
Did you
so-
see and also like Mark Zuckerberg hanging out with the UFC guys? Did you see that?
Yeah, someone's Volkanovski.
Yeah, looked people are saying it looked pretty awkward, a little out of place, just kind of hanging there, trying to.
What ends up happening with rich guys, like I've seen it a little bit. You box or you do something, you got a trainer, and at some point the trainer, because it's like kind of part of his job, talks you up a little bit, like, hey man, you're pretty heavy handed. You got some pop in that right hand, you know. And then these guys start thinking, you know, maybe, and then the trainer will say to whoever, if I gotten hold of you a few years earlier, you definitely could have fought me, you know. And then you start thinking about shit, and now you start rolling with these guys a little bit, and everyone's kind of going half speed, but you start buying it.
Yeah.
And I think he's getting to that place. I mean, he could be skilled at it, and he could be good at it, but he's super rich, and once you take a fucking elbow to the temple, like you're just going to stop, right? Like a normal person would.
Yeah, I don't know
But
if he's
maybe
got
if
what
he
it
can
takes.
jack them off before they get into the octagon.
I mean, if Mark wants some training from like an elite jacker offer, I'll help him out with something. I mean, I do question if he really has the tenacity to make it happen when a dude doesn't want to bust, but that's when you find out what kind of dog you are.
That's right. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, so NASA, they're looking for people to live in a Mars simulator right now.
I don't want to do it myself, but I'd like to nominate people to do it. You know, I got a list like
Right.
Yoko Ono, Kevin Smith,
This is a
J
fake
Lo.
Mars.
Huh?
This is a fake Mars, though. It's
It
a
still gets them
simulator.
out of society, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's good enough. They can live in Biodome
Yeah, Yoko, K. Smith, and J-Lo just playing poker every night.
just to kind of get them out of circulation. So I don't have to hear J Lo's
Good
take on her
reality
next
show.
album or what she was trying to do as a woman or any of that shit. Just take a break. I go put Sofia Vergara in there. Grab Whoopi Goldberg, and it'd be people. How long do they live there?
A year.
Imagine a year of not fucking hearing Whoopi Goldberg's thoughts on something for a year. I mean, we got an election coming up. If Donald Trump gets elected, we're gonna have to listen to that fucking nut job Whoopi Goldberg talk for the next 4 years. You know what I mean?
Where are you hearing from Whoopi?
She's out. She's around.
Do you watch The View?
I don't watch The View, but everyone makes fun of The View, and then they play the clip
Right.
of them saying something stupid. I don't think The View is actually watched. I think Sean Hannity has a producer that watches The View, and that's their only viewer. Right. And then he pulls a stupid clip of them saying
They should
something.
just send the tape straight to him.
And then, because Whoopi's saying the kumquats are racist, and then they pull the clip and then they give it to Hannity.
Each episode's an embarrassment of riches.
That's right.
For Hannity.
Right.
So this mission, you live there for a year. Mm-hmm. So it's a 1,700 square foot Mars simulation. Mm-hmm. It simulates a future Mars habitat with separate areas for living and working.
Could we get Miley Cyrus in there as well? Ooh. I just don't need any more out of her.
Are we sure we want to lose her?
I'm not saying kill her. I'm saying I'm just take a year off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can she still post photos?
I suppose they'll have their phones
probably have
in
Wi-Fi there,
There's
yeah.
a lot of technology.
I mean, the way she climbed out of the Liam situation, super inspo for me.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I've changed my mind on her.
Oh.
How about Jason Momoa?
Dude, yeah, he needs a break.
He needs a
reset.
we need a break from him.
And now he's doing like all kids movies and stuff. And I'm like, come on, man, like rip some domes off.
Yeah, I need a break from Jason Momoa.
Do you not like him in the latest Fast?
I liked him. I need some time apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is he like grunge rock?
Do you think he's surrounded by too many jacker offers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look a little depleted, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to build up his load.
Yeah.
A little retention would do him well in his performance.
He's got the show on Netflix where he goes from town to town and they like restore vintage Indian motorcycles or something. And I think he's just doing his impression of what he would do. Like he must think to himself, what? He looks like it. He acts like it. He like talks like it. It's like he could never like if he rode a motorcycle, he could never just get a new Honda and ride. He's got to have something weird and rusty and funky town. Like the guys that like. He could never just drive a regular car. He could never just ride a regular motorcycle. Everything has to be a choice, and it's all like this weird stylistic thing all the time. And I just need a break. That's all.
Right there with you. Do you think he might actually be more into like wallpaper, but he knows that wouldn't sell, so he pretends that it's about bikes?
I just feel like he's doing this impersonation of a caricature of what we think he is. That's it.
I know he carries a knife on him at all times.
Yeah, really?
That's part of it.
Well, maybe he'd stab Whoopi if he was in the dome.
Well,
I haven't worked it all out,
let's
but
see if they
I
can
could
last
use a
in this. Let's
break.
imagine them in the
Chronicles
dome.
of Riddick style.
So each person, they would have their own living quarters. They get a workspace, a medical station, lounge areas, a galley, and food growing stations. So there's limited resources. Volunteers will go on simulated spacewalks, but they have to work to maintain the habitat. So they have to grow the crops, work with robotics. And it's going to kick off in 2025, so 6 years.
Is a simulated spacewalk the best we can do is a swimming pool? Because every time I see the simulated space, it's just in a swimming pool.
That makes sense.
I know, but that's all we got?
What about,
You're NASA. You got to do better. We got the Vomit Comet, and we got them in a swimming pool.
Do they have a big like anti-gravity vacuum? They like suck out the.
I'm saying there should be something better than a swimming pool.
Yeah,
I know.
That's all we got.
We're 5 years after Blade Runner. We should have this technology.
Yeah.
I'll go, because then I could be the first YouTuber on Mars and just corner the market.
Oh,
wow. That's
well,
smart.
they have to qualify, you have to be a quote motivated U.S. citizen.
You got to worry about jacking dudes off in zero gravity.
Oh,
Yeah, the
You're going to
splooge
want
is
to
just gonna
prepare
be
for that.
floating.
You're going to be living with it for a while.
no boundaries.
Yeah.
That's like the fly shooting gun getting turned on me.
You'd have to use that to get the splooge out of the
Yeah,
sky.
You can hit a load from about 10 feet away.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that happens on like the International Space Station, where some guy gets lonely and he needs to bust a load, but then
It gets out.
Usually you go into like a tissue, right? But you're in no gravity. It just
You got to catch it.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
floating by. I'm like, Chad, you want to take responsibility for your loads a little bit?
yeah.
Or
Like,
somebody-
like who's
This
somebody
isn't your
opens
mother's
a-
zero gravity
somebody
space
opens
unit.
a
All right, we're not
cupboard.
cleaning up after you.
Some guy's going to open a cupboard to get like a snack and your splooge floating
You're like,
out
dude,
of
this is
it.
like 6 gallons. We've been in space for 2 days. How about you chill a bit?
And you're going to have to get like a butterfly net and chase it around. You know what I mean? And then there's going to be accusations. Like, that's not my splooge,
That's not
dude.
my splooge.
Oh, you know it's your splooge.
I know what my splooge smells like. That's not my splooge. That is his splooge every day of the week. I can
And
tell
then,
you.
like, something would happen where it'd short out some electrical equipment, like some navigational equipment.
that awful gunk.
And then the guy'd get on the radio and go, "We got an issue here." And you'd be like, "Come on now. Seriously."
Yeah, and they'd have to call in an engineer at Houston who's a 13-year-old kid because he knows all about getting splooge out of things. This kid's got the state-of-the-art knowledge we need.
Bringing in a pro.
Yeah. All right. We have 15-second loop of spacewalk simulators.
Oh. Do you think they have NASA
Oh,
splooge
no.
tube socks?
They're just in recliners.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Pool-
we don't
pool's better
really
than
have
this.
simulators. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, well,
Armageddon, they
also-
train in a pool.
So you have to be between the age of 30 and 55. Mm-hmm. You must speak English and be a non-smoker. Mm-hmm. And you have to have a master's in engineering, math, biology, or other science, or have 1,000 hours of piloting experience. And you may be compensated for the mission.
Sounds like I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Adam, if you could go to space, like on just like a mission to space, would you do it? Just back and up and back?
I think I'd do it just to say I did it. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the obsession with it that a lot of people do, and then I feel like they say it's going to change your perspective, and then they come back down, and then 10 minutes later, I think it's like a near-death experience where you go, I'm going to start really living right, and 10 minutes later, you're just watching fucking TV, yelling at your kid, kicking your dog around. Like I don't know, but I would definitely give it a shot.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
You do it.
Every time we do psychedelics, you talk about wanting to go to space.
Yeah, it's true. We're on a mountain in San Clemente. I was looking at the ocean. I was like, you just gotta go up there next.
Gotta go up.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
So Madonna took a slight fall during her concert in Seattle, and there's video of it. So while performing a song, she mounts a chair and is dragged by a running dancer to the other side of the stage.
Yeah, but it's a dude in high heels, and that's why he ate shit.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about because he should have been wearing Earth shoes. This wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, Earth shoes have the negative heel.
Why is he wearing those? Is he insecure about his height?
Madonna can't just leave sex alone. Everything's got to be weird and androgynous and a statement, and every guy's got to dress like a chick, and every chick has to dress like a dude. Like there's just something, and he's got stiletto heels on and he eats shit. And plus, he's a dude, so he wasn't wearing heels when he was 15. Madonna gave him the heels when he was 30, and he doesn't know how to fucking move in those heels.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad he ate shit. I'm glad she ate shit as well, because he's a fucking idiot wearing heels. And you can't listen. I saw the vid. Like you're gonna. I don't like to talk about myself. But here goes.
Okay, let's try it.
When I was doing Dancing with the Stars, I was compelled to ride a unicycle for one of the dances. And they give you dance shoes. And the dance shoes are smooth, slick leather on the bottom, slippery. And I was riding a unicycle, and I realized I don't think I can ride it very well with these slippery, slick shoes on. And it's a high-pressure environment, and I don't want my foot to slip off. And I prepped the pedals. Like, I tried it a couple times, like at home, in my dance shoes, and my foot was sliding all over the place. And I just took, like, gaffer's tape, like cloth tape, and I wrapped it a couple of times around the pedals, and I found I got a better grip out of it. And what I'm saying is if you're going to drag Madonna around in a folding chair in stilettos, you got to fucking work on those shoes. You got to get some skid action going down there. You got to take some rubber and double stick it to the bottom. Glue it on there, like you gotta scuff that shit. You can't just be on a smooth stage in your smooth ass heels dragging that sack of shit around on a chair.
Yeah, if I'm her dance choreo boss, that dude's getting lashed. There's no way you can do that kind of mistake, especially when we're live.
Right.
I don't stand for that.
Well, she laughed it off, and they obviously kept the show going. But
Yeah,
She laughed it off in the moment, but I bet you backstage,
he's out.
Broski's dead.
yeah.
So there's a man who in D.C. who thought he won a $340 million Powerball jackpot. So he goes online, checks his numbers, and uses the same numbers every time. It's a combination of family birthdays and other numbers of
Just
personal
say
significance.
science. It's science.
Science. He's science. And he goes to the store to turn it in, or the liquor store, and they take it and they're like, oh, this one's dead, and they throw it out. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so he calls the lottery, and they said, oh, we put the wrong numbers online.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like if on the, wherever else we posted, it's been right, but they're incorrectly inputted on the website. So sorry, tough luck. And now he's suing them.
Yeah, which you have to, because everyone has to sue everyone now all the time. And by the way, lotto players are probably the most likely to sue because they have no idea how to earn money. They're in the business of free money or attempts at free money, so they're going to be much more likely to sue you than a successful orthodontist. That's what I'm thinking.
Not. I hope this doesn't alienate us to anyone, but me and Chad actually sued Mongo's dad, Mr. Headbutt, because he couldn't bust, and we both got arthritis in our hands and had to quit tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When you were trying to beat off Mongo?
Mongo's
His dad.
Oh, wait, you were trying to beat off his dad?
Yeah, Mr. Headbutt.
Oh, so Mongo was fine.
Mongo's good. He can come.
He's a great beat off.
Yeah, he's easy.
Yeah.
But the
dad's stubborn as hell.
So the acorn did fall pretty far from the tree.
Yeah, absolutely. And his dad was real huge behind the whole mortgage crisis, and so we were trying to get him to relax, and he just couldn't bust. And then next thing you know, my hand's not working right when I'm swinging my forehand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it still pending, or did he settle with you guys?
There's a settlement,
Oh.
pretty large.
But you can't.
Amount of
Can't really disclose.
pretty much a large amount of bust. I mean, the thing with him too is it was just, you know, it was just a floppy experience, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you caught him on a bad day.
Classy. We tried for
Multiple days?
Yeah, we came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't
you
stop
came
until the
back.
jump's done.
He booked
you know,
out a
Harry
week.
Stamper, I have never missed my mark.
Harry Stamper, back to the pool.
He booked out a whole week.
Oh, we booked out. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that's where that's where the carpal
even
tunnel.
after- yeah, it's
yeah,
just like-
you can't even hold a pen.
Yeah, I have a flimsy wrist because I broke it rollerblading twice. And I told him about that. I'm like, you know, I rollerbladed with your son. I beat him off several times. You know, it's weak. I
Right.
can't keep jacking you like this. And he was like,
So he knew
well,
it.
you know, you don't have grit. And when someone tells me I don't
Oh
have
yeah,
grit,
that's where you dig deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like you didn't have the intestinal fortitude to jack off a 51-year-old.
yeah, he's like, this is a problem with your generation.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he tried to make it like that, like we were namby-pamby, dude. I was like, I've worked for every load I've ever gotten, dude. Right? Nothing came easy on my streets of jacking.
he's like, millennials can't even jack off.
I know. A lot of these guys
hard
think
cocks.
they think just because you're successful, you're born with a silver load of jizz in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you're, you know, they're like, oh, you're born on jizz third and thought you hit a home run.
Yeah, they're like, mom and dad handed you all your jizz. I'm like, no, not the kids.
little nepo jizzer.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that we work for it. You guys work for it.
We work from the bottom up.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
seed money.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I start at the middle, but yeah. But I got you. What else we got, Chris?
So, the publisher of the New York Times has acknowledged that the White House has been really unhappy with how the newspaper has been covering President Biden and concerns about his age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People talk shit on Biden. I saw a highlight of him from 52 years ago, and he was ripping.
Yeah, it was sharp. Yeah, had all his hair. It was awesome.
He was already kind of bald. It was fun.
Yeah, the thing that's most surprising about the era we're living in is when CNN or the New York Times starts actually telling the truth about the president. It seems shocking and surprising. Like, look what they're talking. What are they saying on CNN? Like, well, they're saying Biden may be old, and maybe a lot of independent voters think he's too old. And they're like, that's CNN. What are you guys doing? And it's like. It's like you're at a baseball game and the umpire has been calling it for one team the entire time, and at some point the other team slides into home and he goes, safe. And you go, what?
Yeah.
What just happened? What are you doing? You're not doing your job. Your job is to be calling for the other team the whole time. It plays as confusing like initially, and I guess the White House has to be sort of confused or angered too, because they're like, you guys know what your job is.
Yes.
You know, and why don't you do your job, which is protect us?
So the Times says, we are just stating the truth fully and plainly, but we're also doing that in a way that is unemotional. We are not anyone's opposition, and we're not anyone's lapdog.
Oh, something's happened over there. So when the news turns on Biden, then that means that's it with Biden, because that's all he had was the news.
Right.
So now he's screwed.
Well,
all right.
Do you think that they've reached a point where they're trying to install someone else?
I think we're getting. I think once he loses CNN and the New York Times, then it's time to start talking about going to the bullpen.
Are they trying to put Newsom in, do you think?
Oh my God. Newsom, I was talking to Newsom, and I was talking to a guy about it the other day, and I said, Newsom doesn't understand how he's perceived outside of California. Mm-hmm. People who live outside of California look at California as a joke, and they look at him as a clown, and there would no way they would want to franchise this, but he doesn't know it because there's something wrong with Newsom. Like, there's something clinically wrong. Like, there's bizarrely sociopathic in his construct. Like, I've talked to him for an hour. There's something clearly wrong with him. He answers questions in the most bizarre way ever. I always think about him being asked, like, people are leaving California. Where else are you going to go? Well, they're going everywhere. Well, I know a couple that moved to Utah and they're very happy. Like, that doesn't track. He doesn't understand how he's perceived. I don't think. Outside of California, everyone looks at him as a joke. Nobody wants California brought. They don't want California politics brought to their town or their state because it'll ruin their state. But he doesn't think of himself that way. He thinks of himself as sort of a successful matinee idol who the crowds cheer for. And I just said, Gavin Newsom is the world's shittiest. He's a hood ornament on the world's shittiest car. California is the car, and it's a piece of shit, and he's the hood ornament, and he's like, we've arrived to your town, and everyone's going, we don't want what you're fucking selling because you're ruining California, because everyone is leaving California because you're fucking it up. And he's sociopathic. There's something wrong with him. I don't know how else to describe him. I've interviewed him for an hour. We talked in a circle for an hour. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. There's something broken and bizarre with him.
How do you think he's perceived nationally, though?
He has to be horrible because he is the coach of a team that goes, 1-16 in the NFL every single year, and then he announces, "I'm taking my coaching skills and I'm bringing it to the open market." And everyone's like, "Your team is a joke. You lose, and everyone leaves your team and goes on waivers and gets picked up by a real team." Like, I have no idea what he thinks of himself, but he thinks highly of himself, even though California is considered a joke.
That analogy of the team thing is good as long as it has a huge fan base that doesn't follow the schedule and never has been to a game.
Well, that's what California is. But outside of California, people follow the schedule and they look at scores.
But I hear totally sane and otherwise people that I respect, like Stephen A. Smith. I heard him go say, "We need Gavin Newsom." I'm like, no, we don't.
No, nobody needs Gavin Newsom. The French
but
Laundry needs Gavin Newsom.
There are intelligent people who are pushing Gavin Newsom.
It's scary. Well, really.
By the way, our projected $56 billion deficit in the state of California.
Yeah.
It's now 70.
Yeah.
Is that a bigger number? Worse?
Billion.
Bigger's worse. These are people. Look, these are never Trumpers. The Bill Maher's and the Stephen A. Smith. Nobody thinks Gavin Newsom's good at what he does. They hate Trump so much. They realize that Biden is a fucking wounded deer. He's literally a deer that got shot in the hip and is just kind of walking in a circle. And at some point, he's going down and the vultures are coming in. And guys like Bill Maher and these other guys go, "We got this other guy. He's bright. He's tall. He's got nice teeth. Just fucking slug him in and we'll take our chances because it's anything but Trump." And they think Newsom might have a chance. But it's really based on Biden being a wounded deer than it is on belief in Gavin Newsom. And no, Gavin Newsom's not going to sell any more than Kamala Harris sells.
You don't think he'd do better than her?
I think, anybody would do better than her because she's so hated and she's so incompetent and she's an affirmative action hire. So no one really believes that she should be there in the first place. And he would do better than her. But he's not going to work in the middle of the country.
No, we were just doing shows in Florida and during the Q&A, they started trashing him.
Newsom? Yeah, everyone hates Newsom.
So I was just saying that he could take DeSantis' chick if he wanted to. That was my defense of California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's kind of hot. What's her name is DeSantis is like his wife's pretty cute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Newsom might.
Just because we were from California, they were calling us the Booster Boys.
Yeah, well, they were like, "Are you guys vaccinated?" I'm pretty liberal. I'm like, I've been vaccinated 38 times, and I do one every day. So whatever, back off. They got so much pride because they're different. I'm like, you're not better. You're just different.
Yeah, the boost. That's part of our merch. Is you get a nice.
You get a boost?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not doing the beer koozies anymore?
No,
Nah,
you just get
you get the boost.
It did make me laugh because then I started thinking about Kelsey doing like the Pfizer ad, and like I like Travis Kelsey a lot, but it would be funny if like we were at that level and someone's like, "Hey, do you want to represent the vaccine?" And you're just on a billboard flexing with like it's an odd project to put your energy into.
Yeah.
Although I am super boosted though.
If you pay VIP, you get RSV as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
The billboard could look like the Triple X poster.
Yeah, dude.
Flexing that tricep.
If they let me have a gun, I would do it with the.
The Booster Boys coming to town.
All right, one more.
So in Cape Town, they launched an investigation because a foul stench has swept over the South African city. So city officials inspected sewage facilities for leaks.
It always comes from the ocean, doesn't it?
Well, in this case, it did. Yes.
Any smell that takes over a town, that's not,
It's not internal.
a dumpster. It's not bad pussy. It's the ocean. You know, when it takes over the town.
Bad snatch can do that though.
Bad snatch can take over a
If it's a
village,
big
but
enough
not
family.
the entire,
If it's a whole family that
but
doesn't know
not
how
a
to
whole
clean.
town. It'll do like bad
And
snatch.
stinky balls.
Bad snatch can do a medium-sized village max.
Yeah, I remember
mean,
this one
people
time.
know that.
It took over El Porto. You remember that?
Yeah,
In
dude, with
Manhattan
my
Beach?
aunt.
Yeah.
That was your aunt?
My
Diane.
aunt Adriana.
Diane?
And
Oh,
Diana, yeah.
She
Her
had a nice
snatch
beach-
took over the whole beach?
Yeah, it was
Are
actually
you talking about the bakery? Portos?
no
That's
El
what we
Porto,
called her,
the
yeah.
surf break.
Oh, okay.
Which is
so
nice.
your aunt snatch took out a whole break?
Yeah, we got a ticket. Yeah.
How-
It was
really?
so lame, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the government's infringing now on my
Wow.
on family snatch. No, thank you, dude.
Wow.
I'm moving to Florida, bro.
And with the amount
You
of
got
property,
cited for bad snatch?
Yeah, dude. $50 ticket.
the amount of
your
property
aunt.
tax she pays too.
I know for how much she's given to the city.
Yeah, the cops just ratted on her.
Wow. And that's Diane? What's her name?
Adriana Diane Parr.
Yeah,
Oh, she took out the whole break. The
Yeah.
whole beach.
Dude, it was nasty. Yeah.
big vagina.
But
Huge.
normally it's some kind of algae or something in the ocean.
For
you
sure,
know?
yeah, for sure.
And it's probably what a lot of the guys thought initially. I mean, they didn't know it was your aunt.
Nah, and she kept trying to blame the algae. She was like,
Yeah,
"It's the
yeah, that's what you
algae."
do.
And I was like,
You know,
dude,
you
we're-
do that like you fart, you blame the dog. You know what I mean? That's what you do with bad snatch at the beach. You blame the algae.
I just didn't like it. Some dudes were like, oh, like trying to talk hell to her about it. And I was like, you'd still go down on her. Like she's
Yeah.
a smoke, you know?
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah. And a real man will plug it up and get into anything.
Oh, yeah. Put a little Vicks vapor on the upper lip and just
Yeah.
go in like an autopsy.
Yeah,
Science of the Lamb style. That's what I do.
what men do,
That's
dude.
what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That body's been in a swamp for 4 days.
Let it
I'm
marinate
going,
a
I'm
little
going
bit.
in.
Yeah. I want to taste your day.
it was
Yeah.
tough because her snatch took out the Aqua Surf School. Like they went out of
Oh,
business.
really?
Yeah,
they didn't reconstitute somewhere else?
I mean,
No,
it was peak July. That's peak surf school time, and 2 weeks out.
We went to the city council and it was like Agenda 2. And they're like, man, like it's been a seismic event for the economy. No, people
Sure.
aren't going to recover.
So like the opposite of Taylor Swift.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got fined. Did you fight the ticket?
No, we paid it because like no lawyer would represent her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they would just roll up in the house and be like, God damn, and then do it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Sorry, where were we?
Oh, so the smell.
Yeah, it's always the ocean or the ant.
This was this is a ship docked in the harbor carrying 19,000 live cattle from Brazil to Iraq. Yeah, so the ship was supposed to depart soon. They've been on there for 2.5 weeks on board. They're
I'd cruise on the cattle cruise if they gave me a break.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I'd be topside on a water slide. You know, you'd get used to the smell. Like as long as you're doing 18 knots in the right direction, the smell's kind of behind you.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know, so I could see myself on the cattle cruise. You know, fine dining, steak every night.
Animal welfare groups, they're very upset about this. They've actually went and also investigated themselves, and they said that the smell is indicative of the awful conditions the animals endure, having already spent 2.5 weeks on board with a buildup of feces and ammonia.
was it a veal cruise?
Yeah, that's a smaller
I don't-
cabin.
Yeah,
Yeah. What if you were on a cruise and Kate Bosworth was your maid?
Oh,
man,
Dude, now
I'd
we're
never
talking.
get off.
Yeah.
Like they'd be
Yeah.
like, "We're in Puerto Vallarta." Like I'm staying.
yeah.
They'd be like, "Don't you want to have some of the local fare?" And like, "No, I'm good. I'm
be
staying in my
helping her
room."
clean.
If you do the
Yeah.
upper decker, she won't even be phased.
That's right.
on that cruise.
Do you think they'd give Kate Bosworth a ticket if her snatch shut down?
No.
No.
Maybe a lady officer, but no No
Yeah.
bike, no beach bike cop would
No,
do
if she
that.
did it, there'd be like a GoFundMe for her.
Yeah,
I would
raise
just
some
get.
money.
I would make my junk smellier than hers just to make her feel good.
That's why you're a good guy.
Thanks, bro.
I'd go into that cattle barge and roll around for a little while just to get my stink level up, you know? Then I'd go match hers.
You
Yeah.
can't be less stinky than Kate.
How much does it suck for the captain of the cattle barge? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
dude.
it's like, you know, like when you, if you ever talk to a guy and he'll go like, you talk to a commercial airline pilot and then they'll go, well, I flew in the military. And then you go, what'd you fly? You know, and the top of the list is like, I flew an F-18 Hornet, you know, or an F-4 Phantom or something. There's like, because we picture them, but that's like 2% of military pilots. The rest of them are flying like cargo shit and just like stupid, boring, you know what I mean? And so it's like when you hear captain of a ship, top is like aircraft carrier, then we get into battleship, then we get into destroyer, then we get submarine captains. Like it kind of gets going, but cattle barge, that's like right next to like laundry ship, right? Like like you're pretty down on the pecking order. Like you walk into the cocktail party and you go, I'm a captain, a ship's captain. Everyone kind of goes, oh, cool. And then we hear cattle barge, just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, it feels like something you get bumped down for. Like you had 2 martinis before you took the submarine underwater, and now you've been put on the cattle.
Yeah.
barge.
Oh, you get busted
punished.
down to cattle barge captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were the captain of the Exxon Valdez. Then you got drunk and you ran it ashore, and now you're the cattle barge captain.
And now there's a war going on, and all the radar and systems have gone down on all the military ships. So you're the last one left. So you gotta find a way to weaponize these cows.
Yeah.
And take out the Russian brigade.
And your cook is Steven Seagal. Oh, and he
can't stop
he
killing
has
all the
training.
cows.
Yeah, you didn't know he had. Yeah, yeah. This movie's gonna write itself.
That's a fucking
cattle
good
barge.
Yeah.
Do you think he rebrands himself as the Wagyu captain?
Oh yeah. Probably it's like a euphemistic name, like the Wagyu wagon. It's
Yeah,
still
the Wagyu wagon.
scurrying that down. But he's got to hang out at captain's bars, you know, and they got to
Yeah.
talk about cruise shipping, and they got to talk about military stuff, and then he's the cattle.
Yeah, he
Probably
doesn't say
smells like the
much.
cattle when he comes on. If he had dreads, could you imagine what his hair would smell like?
Yeah.
Imagine if the captain of the cattle barge had full Bob Marley type dreads. His head would smell for like 9 months after he got off. There's like not enough shampoo to get the cattle smell out of his dread. I'll bet you almost no cattle barge captain rocks dreads.
And every night he plays the guitar for all the cattle.
That's right.
Just a nice little reggae tune.
All right. Should we bring it home?
Yeah.
I had one
right.
line that the captain could say to the Russian brigade before he says, cattle barge, cattle charge.
That's good.
Thank you for letting me get that off, guys.
Good.
I hope that was a strong finale.
All right. Chad, JT podcast, Going Deep with Chad and JT, available wherever you listen to finer podcasts. And the website, we'll have some dates on it, right?
Yeah.
Chad and JT.
Check out the Booster Boys touring the country.
Hold on. Let me get the plug. ChadandJT.com. And you can find the Booster Boys out there.
Yeah, come to a show, get your shot.
I'm going to be in Vegas tomorrow
That's
night.
our merch.
Tomorrow night, doing 2 shows at Kimmel's Club out there. Just go to adamcroll.com because I'm going all over the place. Until next time, it's Adam for Chris and Chad and JT saying mahalo.